Thanks for being here. That's relatively, I say relatively simple.
Well, I'm trying to fix it for me.
No, but I want to make sure we're clear about this. I was on the school board. I'll back up. When I took office on the school board, someone said to me in a board meeting, maybe 2 months after I took office, "Oh, well, we don't talk about that asbestos thing in Schenley." And I said, "What?" and I became a very strong proponent of addressing that problem. And I'll use this as an example of the kind of thing that needs to get done in the city. For years and years and years, people ignored the problems in Schenley. They did just exactly what I said. Oh, yeah, we'll do it. And they ignored it. So it comes my time to be on the board. It comes all of our time in 03 to 07 to be on the board. And we have to start making the decisions that people in this community had not made for decades. We had excess capacity in the school system that was unacceptable. We were spending money that we did not and should not have been spending on facilities and should have been putting towards children. We said we're going to start closing schools. We decided that we would close schools because it had to get done. Nobody wanted to do it. I voted to close 30-something schools. I did not want to do that, but it was the thing that had to get done. Again, I don't want my kids to have to face that decision. I would rather take it on me than push it to them. When it comes to dealing with high school reform, we closed mostly middle and elementary schools. We said then we would get to the high schools. It was a much more difficult problem. And we said we would close the high schools in a different way than we did the middle and lower schools. We had originally, and this, I was a part of this plan development, we would close the high schools by building competition. We would create new high schools. The first one was to be a science and technology high school. It was actually, I think, opening this fall. It was to be a science and technology high school. And our hope was then to build others like it that would attract population. That was not how things worked out. Schenley, the issues around Schenley, as we dealt with what we thought was, I'd say, a short-term solution with the plaster and the asbestos. But then, of course, it started to fall down. So we had to actually close that facility. I was not on the board when we voted to close that facility, but I was clearly a part of that process. I take full responsibility. I mean, I hold me accountable. Hold me accountable, and here's why. You make a decision. You have a number of high schools in this city. Let's make a number, 9, I think. We'll use as a number. That's not exactly the right number, but let's use 9 as a number. And let's say that you have to make decisions about how to allocate millions of capital dollars on these buildings. Can you responsibly spend 40, 50, 60, as high, anywhere from 40 to 80, and the numbers now are much higher. Can you responsibly spend that much money on one high school and tell the others you're not going to? I put my kids in a magnet program to go to Schenley because I believed it was a beautiful building and a great program. Okay, so I was vested in that school. But again, people had not made the right decisions for decades, and some of us decided we're going to stop the merry-go-round, we're going to stop the circus, and we're going to make those tough decisions. So hold me accountable. On the question of the economy, Pittsburgh itself,